Good morning, children. Now we're at the beginning of a new week, and we finished the book that we were looking at, The Kapok Tree, and we finished looking at the effects of palm oil as well. So this week we thought that as we're looking at ancient Greece as part of our topic work, that it would be nice to look at some Greek myths to accompany that. So first of all, what are myths? Now, myths are stories basically, but they're stories that are generally made up, and they date back or can date back thousands of years, especially with Greek myths. These stories have been around a long, long time. As they're made up, there's quite often creatures in them or beings that are, you've heard the word mythical, like fictional creatures, again, that are made up. So I've put a few on the screen just so you can take a look. You can see at the top right-hand corner, there's a kind of sea serpent. You might recognise at the bottom left-hand corner, Medusa, the lady with the snakes coming out of her head. You might have recognised her from a Greek myth. But myths generally have these kind of creatures or beings in them. Quite often there's a god or a king as well, and there's always a kind of problem to overcome. Now, you might have heard when you hear myths spoken about, we often hear myths and legends. Now, legends are very similar to myths, but sometimes they have an element of truth behind them, and quite often they're related to different cultures. They might tell the story of creation or how man found fire, excuse me, that kind of thing. So there is a slight difference between myths and legends, but myths are what we'll be looking at this week. So the one that we're going to be looking at today is Theseus and the Minotaur. Now, I've attached a link here. This isn't a video link, it's an audio link. So if you would like to listen to the story of Theseus and the Minotaur, you can click on this link, but I would like you to read the story. Now, I've put the story onto slides as part of this PowerPoint, but I've also attached it as a Word document if you wanted to read it that way or print it off, because I know sometimes reading it on the slide, it can be a bit tricky. So read the story and click forward. And then once you've read the story, you've got 4 questions that I would like you to answer today. Now, it's only 4 questions, but I would like you to do them really, really well. So when you're answering them, think about using evidence from the text to back up your answer. Okay, so not just a one sentence answer. Really think about how you're answering these questions. Think about what point you're making and where your evidence is coming from. Okay, good luck.